Hey guys, welcome. I'm so excited to have a new special guest for our September Details University Lives. Welcome everyone to Jazmin Albarran. How are you, Jasmine?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me, Corrine.
I know. I'm so excited to introduce all of our detailers, our dedicated detailers to you. And we've been friends for a while now. And most recently, we had a nice brunch in San Diego at at the Next Gen conference this past February. And that's really when we started working together more. So I'm excited to introduce everybody to you, Jasmine. Thank
Thank
you.
you. No, thank you for seeing the value and see your future in the work that we are doing and quickly becoming a champion of our work and helping me share all the news of the resources that we have for teachers and industry.
Yeah, no, well, I think it's really exciting. And education has always been at the heart of everything we do here. When I used to want to be a teacher, so when I found myself in the software industry, sometimes you always lean on your foundational aspects, and it goes from everything from teaching not only my staff how to do some of the inner workings of this, but also helping our florists be more sustainable and more profitable. And then when I discovered what you were doing with Seed Your Future, it's a lot of the initiatives to get the next generation loving flowers and loving the industry. So I was just so captivated by it. Can you give people a little bit of background on what Seed Your Future is and how you got involved with this organization?
Absolutely. So, Seed Your Future is a national nonprofit that was created to help promote all of the careers working with plants and flowers within the industry, but then also the marketing, the accounting, the logistics. You can be a lawyer in this industry, right? People don't think about it. When folks hear the word horticulture or floriculture, they have very specific things or careers they think about and don't realize, again, you have the breeders to the folks that are transporting the flowers from Miami to California, whatever that might look like. So we just want to raise awareness of this industry. It's a
Yeah.
year round, it's a billion industry, it's a global industry. We want educators, parents, and students to know all the careers that it has, what they look like, and then what are some of those career paths. I've now been with Teach Your Future 3 years. I started in 2021. My
Mm.
background is in mental health and youth development. I had no idea
Yeah. But
horticulture exists
it's
the
kind of
way
the
it
same
does.
thing. You know, plants do give so much mental.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's why I applied. So it was my network, it was my professional network. The first executive director of Seed Your Future reached out to me and asked me if I would consider applying because of my background with
Mm.
youth development, workforce development, and outreach and marketing. And I said, like, I kill every plant that I own. I don't know that I can come into this industry. Like, what? And she said, you won't be working with the plants, right? You're going to be working with the people. You're going to be trying to reach that next generation, whether it's through parents, through teachers, or trying to connect with students themselves. And I love plants, and I know they impact our physical, mental, and emotional health. And if someone loves what they do, it's not a job, right?
Mm.
And it impacts your confidence, your self-esteem. And so I still feel that I'm very aligned with the mental health work background that I've done for over 20 years. And so being able to see how much passion is in this industry motivates me to get more students familiar with these careers and hopefully into this industry because I know they'll love what they do for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. And I think it's just so interesting because when you go to these conferences and meet people from all over, you realize that the industry really is an ecosystem of so many different careers that make
Mhm.
up the big, beautiful industry. So when you start attending these events, you'll see that, yes, it takes not only beautiful flowers that need to be grown by botanists or breeders that understand what the consumers are wanting, then there's other side of the industry that it's like the logistics or the sales or how do you sell this certain product to certain people. So when you think of the range of careers that are options for people, I don't think that they necessarily ever think, like my software developer didn't think that
Right.
he'd be working with plants and flowers, and here he's making such an impact in the lives of florists everywhere. So I love the initiative of just getting people involved in the floral industry and understand. You said that this is a corporate funded, so you're constantly trying to raise money to spread the word about what you're doing. And I know since you've started, you've created, I think, a few different initiatives that have really taken they're making a big impact, like Green Career Week. Can you tell us some more about that? Because we've been involved a few times now,
Yes,
and
yes, you have. So
it's
thank
coming
you.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I came on board, I heard a lot from industry saying, we know we should be connecting with these teachers and students, but we don't know how, right? We're expert in plans, not
Mm,
teaching. And they understood the importance of all of these students in your surrounding area of your business. They can be potential employees, right? At some point, they're going to need a job. And
yeah.
so we created a Green Career Week in the fall of 2022 that prompts industry to do one of three things. One is set up field trips. We want them to bring students into the facility, whatever that might look like, with a career lens. Walk the students and the teachers and let them know, these are the ones that are growing the plants and flowers. These are the ones that are marketing. These are the ones that are selling them. And these are the ones that are transporting them, right? All of those careers are needed to make this industry successful, like you noted earlier. So it's setting up field trips. If they can't bring students to their site, then we say, go into a classroom, do a
Mm,
class presentation about your company culture, maybe bring somebody from sales, from different departments to show students that you are a business. Uh,
mhm,
and then the third component is putting all those interactions on social media, but then also maybe interviewing your staff and asking them, why do you love working here? Why have you
mhm,
been with us for so long? Or, why do you love being around these beautiful products and uh, showing again that passion? The Gen Z and on, these students want to be a part of missions, a part of solving problems, a part of impacting climate change. And this
mm,
industry really has a lot to do with that. And we just have to make them aware that we exist, one, and what those career paths look like. So Green Career has been a great way of getting industry into getting connected with those students, whether it's field trips or classroom presentations. And so, like you said, you all have been participating since we started this. So I appreciate that. Um, and sharing with others the work that you've done. And you have joined a couple of our Green Career Week virtual Q&As to just help industry that have never done that before think
yeah.
about what does that look like for them based on their capacity, and how do they make a meaningful interaction for these teachers and these students to learn about the floral or the horticulture industry.
Yeah. Well, I found it has been really impactful for us because we have a lot of next geners on our team and like younger folks. But I feel like even for us participating and offering like interviews or inviting some of the students in, it's also giving them a chance to um, I don't know, spread their wings and be a better like at their job too. And like, how do you need to speak to people or how would you sell this type of position? And, we're growing all the time here, but like if you're not getting out there and helping the next generation kind of figure it out, like you're not doing your part, right, in the ecosystem. So we love being a part of it. And have you seen how it's transforming like perceptions of the floral or horticulture industry just in your own experience?
Yeah, we in conversations afterwards, we send out a survey to the industry participants, and they give us feedback of saying, we didn't realize how much fun our staff were going to have
Yeah.
participating in this, which was a great, output. But they said they've gotten some students that want to be interns, or they've
Mm,
gotten some students just asking, like, hey, how can I be more involved with the work that you all are doing, and how do I prepare now to eventually be able to work for you when I graduate or after college? And so industry has definitely said that by being more present with those teachers and those students, and then afterwards building relationships, right? Some of them started off with maybe they did a class presentation and then
mm,
they brought the students on campus. So really filling in those gaps of those relationships, or even said we then turned around and gave the class some soil, or we gave them some plants, or we gave them some flowers to make bouquets in the classroom. And so it's definitely building relationships and synergies among the teacher students and then those future employers in their community.
yeah. I feel like it's not just I know you deal with a lot of younger and that's kind of like the focus has been more like in college level. You also do high school level, but I also to people that are even in their middle ages when they're just trying to switch careers. I've heard some success stories about people just really wanting to hone and find their own way and then they land these really great careers. Can you tell us any of those like success stories?
Oh, absolutely. So during the pandemic, especially, we got a lot of phone calls from people in their 30s and their 40s saying, I can't go back to that 9 to 5, like, reevaluating everything. And they said, I love plants, I love flowers, but how do I transition into this industry without having that formal background? And a lot of them said, my parents talked me out of it, my high
Mm,
school social counselor talked me out of it, or my college advisor. They all said there are no jobs in that industry. Go be an accountant. Go do other things. And they said, now I'm an adult. No one can tell me what to do. I
yeah.
want to come into this industry, but how? And
Yeah.
so we would send them information about certifications online that they can use, or depending on what city and state they were in, we would connect them with local businesses, whether it's a nursery, greenhouse, a public garden, or a floral, depending on kind of what their interests were. We just
Yeah.
helped them get connected. And so that was really good. And so we say we are middle school to career changers, right?
Right.
Anyone that wants to come into this industry, we want to make sure that they feel supported and help build their network so they can find a career with us for sure.
Yeah. Well, I really love it. And when I first started hearing about it, I guess was a few years ago at the Next Gen conference, because I know the Society of American Florists started putting on this Next Gen conference. Kudos to Nicole out there. Hello, she's watching. I happen to be right in the SAF offices in Alexandria, Virginia. So you're very, I think, close with the SAF. And when I first saw this, I knew it was something that we needed to be a part of, because we hire so many younger people that are just kind of getting their feet wet. But I had no idea that there were so many scholarships available out there to younger people. And it's really, the more I talk about it, and the more I show my local community and local universities, and I start talking about it, it has opened so many doors personally and professionally for myself as well. So if there's anybody out there that's listening, you should be involved with the younger groups or those college campuses. And when they hear something like Seed Your Future happening, those universities want to embrace these programs too and get involved and be aligned. So I feel like it creates really, really great synergy, especially when around growth and seed to STEM and so forth. Have you found that as well? Like universities just want to tap into what you're doing just because it's just a great way to promote what they're doing on campus and just share it in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. And so I've had several professors tell me that they have used the Seed Your Future resource. So we have career profiles for 140 different careers. It
Oh,
has information about the careers, the salary, professional organizations. There's a video that describes the career. And
hmm,
so I had professors, some of those that said the parent was trying to talk their student out of being a major in a plant science. I pulled up the website, show them the different salary ranges, look at all these careers. And then the parent was like, oh, okay. So you're not just gonna be playing with plants. Fine,
yeah.
you can now, right? And it
Not that
goes
there's anything wrong with that. No.
right. No, but it's going to show how professional this industry is. And again, that variety of careers. And our resources are for those students. So we have a database of national scholarships, and
Mm,
we list it out by the area of study, and then also who's providing that scholarship for a 2 year, 4 year plant science degree. We have a list of national internships. Similar, we know the college students, that's how they really get to know a lot of businesses and different career paths. And so we list those same area of study, what business is providing the internship, and then also we break those out by state because we know some students want to stay local and some want to be able to travel. So we're always looking at how do we make this information very easy to navigate and user friendly for teachers, students, and parents looking at exploring careers within this industry.
yeah, I love that. I mean, that there's just places where you can go and so much resources available. What are like some of the main challenges that younger people have when they're just trying to narrow down like where they fit in? Um, have you seen anything specific?
Yeah. So I think people have the idea of like, I want to work in sustainability, or I want to work in climate change, or I want to figure out how to feed more people with less footprint. They have those big picture ideas, but then it's like, okay, so what career is actually doing that work, right?
Mm,
That's where I think a lot of just that level of awareness, right? People know that there are farmers out there, but what does that look like today? very different from back in the 1940s, right? The amount of innovation and science that's happening, the automation.
The
And
drone.
absolutely. And people are growing food in urban areas and hydroponics on roofs, looking very different. So it's just, the challenge is getting information in front of all of these students to show them, like, okay, what problem do you want to solve? And then let's think about what careers get to that. So that's kind of how we approach helping students figure out, well, what career path might I be interested in? And we have a plant power quiz that students can take. It literally takes 5 seconds. It prompts you a few questions based on the student's interest. It will then give them a short list of 10 careers they might be interested based on how they take the quiz. So it pulls 10 from that list of 140. So they'll have a small list, but then they can go back and look at all the other careers that are listed as well.
Yeah, that's fun. Last month we had Courtney Champagne on, and she is an FFA instructor, like an ag teacher for her local high school. But as part of the ag program in a lot of these high schools, they also teach floriculture and floral design. And so that's been really nice to collaborate with her. How can educators and industry professionals collaborate more with Seed Your Future? And by inviting more students in, or do you have any things that you supplement the classrooms with? Because they're always looking for content and things to share with these younger individuals.
Yeah. So, one, on the website under resources, educators, there is a database of industry grants for educators. So that's
Okay.
a great resource that I like to put out there, because depending on, what are you looking for the classroom, there might be a grant there that can help supplement some of those needs. But then, of course, it's here all of the career exploration resources that we have, whether it's videos. We have 10 horticulture STEM career videos that they can show to the students. We have DIY experiments. We have science experiments that can be used in the classroom. And the newest addition, we started a program called Seed to STEM that is bringing high school teachers together from different disciplines. This year was science. Next year will be English, art, and math. To learn a little bit more hands-on what the industry looks like, what's the difference between the different careers and jobs. And then they're going to create a lesson that ties their subject to a horticulture career, and then also the Seed Your Future resources. So those will be on our website. The science ones this year, and by November, which will be free for download, any teacher across the country. And so a great way for teachers is use our collateral. Right.
Mm.
Use our resources to have these conversations in the classroom. We know there are a lot of states that are starting to require teachers to have more conversations about careers, industries, employers with students, but might not necessarily have those resources. And Seed Your Future is your resource to have resources to be able to talk about careers within this industry. And so, if any teacher out there wants to reach out to me directly and just have a one-on-one, I can walk them through the website, show them where the digital pieces are, and then also talk a little bit about how they can get involved in Green Career Week, and then also submit an application for Seed to STEM. And from the industry perspective, obviously participating in Green Career Week, figuring out how to connect with those local schools around them to make them aware of industry, and also the career paths, using our resources to make it a little easier for them.
Yeah, I was really inspired by, I just sat in I know I've sat in on a few board meetings with Seed Your Future, and just by meeting the other individuals from these larger universities, I know you had some people from University of Florida on that call. So I was like, oh, my fellow Gators, like, let's go. And then this next coming week with University of Nebraska, it's just really good to collaborate with so many different people, and you realize how big the horticulture,
Yeah.
industry is, and the floriculture industry. So we were talking about in the last call, I think it was Green Career Week, and kind of inspiring who might want to host an event or how they can best participate. So that's something that happens. It's coming up this in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do it twice a year.
Okay.
In the fall, the dates are September 30th through October 4th. And
Okay.
so it's usually the first week of October, and then in the spring, usually the first week of March. But while we prompt industry to participate twice a year on those timeframes, we tell them, if you and the teacher can only do it the month before, go for it, right? We just really want that synergy to exist between the schools and these employers. So the upcoming one, like I said, September 30th to October 4th, and then the spring one will be the first week of March, whatever those dates are. But again, you meet and collaborate with these teachers in industry whenever it fits for your schedule.
Yeah, and then they can tag you on Instagram, Seed Your Future, and then hashtag Green Career Week. I'm sure that
Absolutely. Yes,
yeah,
and we want that. We want to build a digital library essentially of what are some of these companies out there, what are some of those career paths, and then also showing that passion. Like I mentioned earlier, these young people, they want to love what they do. They don't want to just go to a job. And people, that was one of the things that I think I learned within a month of being at Seed Your Future. I'm like, these people love their plants, they love their flowers, right? And they wake up so early to take care of them. And it's year-round work and it's hard work, but everyone that I've talked to, they can't wait to share what they're working on and how they're doing it. And I have not seen in any other industry the type of collaboration that happens in the horticulture and floriculture. I've heard the word frenemies thrown around quite a bit, saying even though we're competitors, we're going to work together on projects if it's going to help improve the industry and its success. And so I absolutely love that how much people are willing to collaborate and move the industry forward together.
no, I think that's amazing. The last flight I took, I was sitting next to a guy who worked at Honey Baked Ham, and he was working on his things. And I thought, I'm going to a flower convention. I'm sure it's way better than a ham or a pig,
Oh,
bacon.
absolutely.
I mean, they have bacon, but we have all these beautiful flowers. No.
Right.
So what challenges is Seed Your Future currently faced with that maybe we can help, or how can we be a part of making this initiative grow bigger so
Yeah,
everybody's in the industry?
so, Seed Your Future is a team of one. I am Seed Your Future with lots of volunteers and board directors, and we hired consultants to help us put on like Seed to STEM and other components of our programming. So, literally, anyone helping introduce me to a new teacher, to a new STEM coordinator, to a new business that might want to participate in Green Career Week, I need all that support I can get. People have no idea that it's a team of one because of how organized it is and how
Yeah,
structured we are, and that's good, that's okay, but reality is I am one person and can only do so much. So we're always looking for people that will, if you're already going to a conference, can you do a workshop on Seed Your Future? I'll help you plan it. Can
yeah.
you present to your teacher cohorts about our resources, right? Or
Mm.
ask me to come in and do it via Zoom, right? There's so many ways that people can support the work that we are doing in their local school and their local communities, and I can help them.
Yeah, that's exciting. So I'm traveling as I think of like 20 other people. There's a list. I have a whole packet here, you guys, with this upcoming agenda, but it's Seed Your Futures meeting, and we're going to be meeting at the University of Nebraska. So I'm flying into Omaha and going to be driving across the country. I'm hoping to see lots of green pastures and everything. I'm heading out to the University of Nebraska. What is in store for me over the next, I think it's 3 days that we're going to be
Three
there.
days.
So what
Yeah.
am I going to be immersed in? What knowledge am I going to come away with? Give me the Cliff's notes.
Yeah, so we're going to get to hear from their career success department and what they are doing to engage teachers and students to become familiar with the programs within the
Mm.
university related to their plant sciences and ag. We are going to get to have dinner with several of their students. They have 7 different plant science clubs,
Oh
and those
wow.
students are going to join us during our meeting and providing input, right? Seed Your Future has resources for these college students, but we could guess what they want. And I said, well, let's just have them tell us what they need, right? So we want their voice at the table. So they're going to join us throughout the meeting. We're going to get some tours of their facilities. They have some innovation going on there, and we were going to be able to walk through their greenhouse. And then we're going to have some lunch together and do some strategic conversations around the Seed Your Future next chapter, our next 5 year strategic plan. Our goals won't change, but how we
Mm.
do some of that work should change as Seed Your Future's in a different place now. than when before I came on board. And so it's a lot of conversations of where are we today, where we want to go next, and then also how do we build some relationship with the University of Nebraska and Lincoln and create synergy to reach more students and make them aware of all of these careers. So I'm definitely looking forward to having some new ideas coming out of that meeting and then figuring out how we can implement those moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the student impact is always gonna help because they have a completely different perspective about what they just saw going through their high schools or even their, undergraduate courses is what led them to this career and what would have been helpful for them when they were making those choices or even why they chose to go to the University of Nebraska. Was
Mhm.
it something that another maybe Florida school could have done to earn that talent into their pool of people. So it's always interesting to see the way younger people are making their decisions or what led them to that career choice. So
Absolutely.
I'm most interested in hearing from them, but also just to visit some other facilities because to see the way that some some people like spend their dollars on creating these really great programs is also inspiring to see like what does the future look like from the higher education,
Absolutely, and
development.
that's why we always incorporate tours of the facilities that they have because they can give our attendees ideas, right? And just think of something a little bit different that can fit their line of business because we have people coming from public gardens, from floral, from ornamental hort, other universities, and so just like you said, having different voices at the table bring different perspectives and different ideas, and so I'm always looking forward to this in-person meeting that we get to have some community and thinking together.
Only like 17 corporate entities that are helping fund Seed Your Future. So it's definitely something where there's a lot of room to have a lot of growth to like spread the word. And really, you're out there on marching for the whole floral industry, basically, and on the horticulture. Like, let's keep this going and letting students know that don't all spend all of your time in AI, or maybe spend your time in AI, but just with like
Bring it
oh,
to
horticulture, yes, bring it. So, but from the funding, I imagine that takes up a good amount of your time. It's just like going out and pounding the pavement, looking
oh,
for people to
absolutely.
like help keep this moving, the momentum going, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a year-round job. It's a weekly job. Everyone that I'm talking to, it's saying, "Hey, whether you donate $20 or
Mhm.
2,000, right? It does or 200,000. It doesn't matter, right? All of that money is going to help establish those programs that we have, maintain them, and hopefully create new ones. But absolutely, like a nonprofit, it depends on the funding that you have, what services you are able to provide, and if you're around or not. And so, yeah, I
Yeah.
spend a lot of time asking folks for money, and it's not easy and it's not fun, but
No.
it's needed. It's necessary to keep, like you said, keep the lights on.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're a politician for the floral industry, right? And it's like, and I know we do a lot of that on, you have to go to Congress and like ask for the different things that help support our industry, but this is just a whole other leg. And you're working on a grant as I understand it right now. So to hopefully get some federal money like into this program. And I think that that's a smart thing. So that's something I think I could get behind. What can I do to get that to happen? What can we do? Is
Well,
there Yeah.
the grant is actually due Thursday. We only
Okay.
found out about it about a week and a half ago. So it's been a mad dash to get all of the things together. So we already have letters of commitment, which is really great, letters of support. So I think we're good for that. But I think as we apply for other grants, it'd be great to have industry again supporting the mission of Seed Your Future in different ways and just figuring out maybe projects that we can collaborate on. So thankfully, we have what we need for this one, which is great, but hoping that this will open the doors for other future funding. So prior to me coming on, most of our resources were just digital, just lesson plans that were on the website. And so, which is why I created Green Career Week and the Seed to STEM program to add more in-person interactions, teacher training, essentially, right? The connectivity between the classroom and experiential learning. Those are the type of things that help with funding. And so now we're finally able to be eligible for some of those USDA grants. And while we had a really small, short turnaround, we said, let's go for it. At least Future Future's name will be in the system now. We'll get
Mhm.
feedback if we don't get it. We'll have time to plan for the next one. But I felt like it was important just to go for it and see where we're able to come out. And you never know, we might get some funding and go from there.
Hey, I like to hear the success stories and more reason to share, right? So I think it's all about like the content that you're putting out and having it relatable. And I think this is great. So we've really enjoyed our participation and getting to know some of the people that are also involved. Like you would never even imagine some of the jobs that are connected to it. And it's like, we all make the floral world go round in our own unique way. Um, yeah, so what's your future plans or upcoming projects after you get the grant and those board meetings? Are you resting easy for the rest of the year? Like
No, no,
no.
not at all. I still have a few more trips. I'm going to be the keynote at the American Horticultural Therapy Association conference in October. Like, who knew? I was a psychology major when I went to Baylor University. I had no idea you could do hort therapy. And so I'm excited to go and talk to that group about collaborations, about Seed Your Future, and the role they can play in the synergies they have with different partners to grow
Yeah.
that field. So I'm excited. And then I have a couple more trips, and I'm literally all over the place all the time, trying to get in front of again teachers and different youth leading organizations to talk about the resources that we have because we have a lot, and we don't want it just sitting on a shelf, as they say. We want it to be used, and so we're always looking to share those resources with anyone that has contact with students, middle
Mm.
school through higher education, so that they know these resources are here to help have some of those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, if we can make the jobs easier for teachers, because part of being a teacher is mainly corralling all the students and getting them to pay attention, and
Right.
then we need
Just
them to
come to
pay attention.
class.
Yeah, let's make sure that they're learning about the right stuff, and if we can save them a few steps, like, hey, we've all done our part. And I mean, we should all be promoting this because this is the future of our industry, right? The future
Yes.
is what you make it, and if you don't show up or give your part, there's not going to be anything left. So that
Right.
I think it's important that we all do that.
And we have so many people that are going to be retiring over the next 5 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
The amount of positions that are going to be left open. I saw somebody
Hey, she's
recommend.
retiring. She's like, she puts her hand up for that. Yes. I love
Right.
it.
So we have to bring in this next generation to glean and get all this information and knowledge before it just walks away. Right. So
Yeah.
it's going to take everybody working together to be able to again foster that awareness and that curiosity and to bring people into the industry so that they can learn from those that have been there before them.
Yeah, I think that's really important to notate too, because you think if you've spent 20, 30 years in a career, you have so much knowledge, like it is your duty
Absolutely.
to pass it on. Like that can't get extinguished with you. And I hear that so much from our teachers, especially those that are teaching floral design. Like they don't want it to be like a lost art. And there are certain ways to do it the right way. And then or there's certain ways you can just let someone flounder and figure it out eventually. But like, yeah, that's a lot of knowledge you got to share. So I think that goes along any career path. It's just if it can be focused in green, we both wear green. She has a background that's green. I was like, I wore green today for this. I'm drinking a green. We're trying to do our part. Well, that's awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to share about Seed Your Future and your commitment? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I think I just really want people to know that Seed Your Future is here. And then we want to be a resource. We want to be a partner, right? Have us come in to that classroom, even if it's just virtual or into your workshops that you have during the summer, right? Helping Seed Your Future get connected in your local community is so important. Again, these resources are there. They're super useful. They are very professional looking and we want everyone to use them, whether they're industry or a teacher or a
Yeah.
parent.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know we have some things cooking too that we're trying to get started with Seed Your Future as far as like sales competitions in the university level and getting them to focus in on the horticulture and floriculture industries, I think is going to be so robust. I'm really excited to get those plans underway. I think it's going to be huge, actually, Jasmine.
Yeah, me too. I
Future.
think it could be so impactful. And to again, going back to that showing of you don't just grow plants or flowers in this industry. There are so many exciting careers. And when I talk to people and I tell them, hey, we have graphic designers, we have electricians, we have truck drivers, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
We're amazed at the variety of things that you can do. You can be in this industry and never touch a plant or a flower. But if
right.
that's what you love, there's tons of things you can do as well.
Yeah, I think that's great. So are you ready for some rapid fire questions? We always like
I
to
am
end out our details master classes with this. So are you ready,
ready.
Jasmine?
I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite word in another language?
Um, Maybe amor, which is love in Spanish, and it's just again, I try to love everyone, my family, my friends.
Yeah, I love it. What is your drink of choice?
So I don't drink alcohol. I'm always drinking water, but I do love fresh water like horchata, which is a Mexican drink, or Jamaica, also another Mexican drink that I enjoy.
All right. We're gonna have to have one of those together.
All
I'm
right,
excited.
let's find a place.
So what is your favorite flower?
Oh my gosh, that one's hard. I love so many of them. Oh, the ranunculus, peonies. I really love garden roses. I mean, that hydrangeas, the ones I mean, it's tough. They're so gorgeous. So many of them.
Yeah, I agree. Summer, winter, spring, or fall?
Fall. I swing more to cold than hot. So I grew up in Texas. I
Okay.
love Texas because it was so dang hot. Now I'm in on the East Coast, but it's just as warm here now. Like we're hitting some 100-degree weather, so I can't escape it, but I prefer the cooler weather.
Yeah, you get the cherry blossoms though now. I
True.
mean, yeah, that's really beautiful. Morning or evening?
Evening. I'd rather work late than get up super early in the morning.
Okay. Are you more of a thinker or a doer?
Doer. Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons I can be successful at Seed Your Future. My to-do list, right? I got to get stuff done. So definitely a doer.
I love
I like to
it.
think about things, but I also don't like to spend a lot of time talking about stuff, right? I'm like, okay, what's the plan to make things happen, people? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Kylie says, "Oh my God, we're mind twins."
I love that.
Um, a place you most want to travel?
Oh my goodness. So I've been to several continents. I have two more, Antarctica and Australia left. So I'm hoping maybe if everything aligns, I'll be in Antarctica next year. But the world, I want to be anywhere and everywhere where time permits. I tell people all the time, while I love what I do at Seed Your Future, I have a job to sustain my hobby of traveling.
Yeah, well, you're seeding your future all over the world. So I don't know. I don't know if you can get anything to grow in Antarctica, but I bet
Yeah.
you will. Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. What's for dinner tonight?
Tonight, so last night I made a turkey and pasta dish, really spicy, some veggies. That's what I'll be having tonight while I'm working on this grant.
Okay. Um, what is your go-to karaoke song?
You know, I actually do not like karaoke. I've never been able to get into. I will go with friends, but it's not my thing.
No, no. All right. I'm gonna hold you up to that. I'm gonna get you on the karaoke stage. We're gonna do "Don't Stop Believing." I think it's a natural. What is your hidden talent?
Oh, my hidden talent. So I do powerlifting. It's one of the ways that I do get some exercise in. Yeah. So I'm 4'11", pretty short. No one really has an idea. So I got into, what was it? 225 on my deadlift, 150 on my squat, and then 100 pounds on my bench. And I'm actively working on trying to get back to that.
Yeah, you're small but mighty.
There you go.
I'm not getting in a fist fight with you. I mean, you're taking me down. No. What is your favorite dance move?
Favorite dance move? Oh gosh. I just kind of go with the rhythm and the music. I don't think I have a particular, yeah, I love music. I love dancing. So just anything. Absolutely.
And what is your superpower?
People. I hear from my friends all the time that people is my superpower. I'm able to relate to folks wherever they are, meet them wherever they are, and can pretty much have a conversation with anybody. I'm very outgoing, and very flexible, and I think all that makes it to a very easy way to be able to just relate to people.
Awesome. Well, I have loved talking to you, and I am so thankful to have you on. I love everything that you're doing. The
Thank
one
you.
woman show at Seed Your Future, and you look like an army of people out there. So we're here to support you every step of the way. I'm looking forward to spending time with you at the University of Nebraska. We're going to be even better friends after this, Jasmine.
I love that. Thank you, Corrine. And thank you again, like I said, for quickly becoming a champion of Seed Your Future and the
Well,
work that we are doing and champion more people to get involved and support our work. So thank you.
yeah, let's go. Let's go, people. Floral industry, horticulture industry. What is your email address, Jasmine, to letting me know?
Yeah. So it's the letter J and then my last name, A-L, B as in boy, ARRAN at seedyourfuture.org. So anyone feel free to email me directly. We'll set up a time to meet and go from there.
Awesome. Well, we'll be doing this. We're going to make it into a video and then be posting on our website and sending it out. Thank you again, Jasmine, so much. And I will see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.